Hi guys, today we will discuss about Puppeteer, how to set up and a few example of it. And if I talk about Puppeteer, Puppeteer is a Node.js library. For that we have to install Node.js in our system. In my system it's already installed, so I'm not installing it again. So I'm directly going to the terminal and we have to open or go to that folder where we want to create our project. So I am going to that. I'm giving that path where I want to create my project. So I am inside that, and now I am writing mkdir to create my project, and the project name I'm giving is puppeteer underscore demo. So that folder is created, so I have to go inside that folder. For that again I have to write cd puppeteer underscore demo. So you can see I'm inside that, and now we have to now we'll check it's inside anything. So if I open that, you can see there is no files inside it right now. So now what we have to do, we have to initialize our project. For that we have to write npm init. So it will initialize our project, and we can see there is showing package name, version, description. So in the under description we can write any description related to the project. So now I am writing something like puppeteer demo test. So now we can see there is something called entry point, test command, git repository, keywords, author. So author, in under author we can write the author name as I'm writing my own name here, and we give enter, and we can see there all the description, which all the data which we enter we can see inside that. So this is a preview of the package or JSON file which we created or which created under the that project. So again we have to enter. So yeah, if I check the directory, we can see there is a folder created, or sorry, that is not folder, that is a JSON file. So that is created under that project. So now what we have to do, we have to install the library of Puppeteer. So for that, we have to write npm install dash dash save Puppeteer. So it will install the Puppeteer libraries under the dependencies. So there is another dependency called dev dependency, which we can under the dev dependency, or the libraries which added under dev dependencies, that will used for, or that is required during the development, and the dependencies which we added under dependency that will used while runtime. So here we can see Chromium is downloaded. So what is the use of that? That by the help of Chromium we can run our test cases in headless mode. Means the browser we will not able to see the browser, and but our test case will run in the background and will get the test report. But we by the help of headless true or false inside the code that we'll discuss later, by help of that we can see the browser as well. But the Chromium is usually mainly help us to run our test cases in headless mode, so our test execution time will reduce. Then what we have to do is, now we have to install jest. So what is jest? Jest is a JavaScript library, and it is a test runner. So the jest helps for creating, running, and structuring the test. So for that install jest, what we have to do, we have to run this command So I am entering that, and the just start installing. So here we can see that dash dev means it will install, or it will add under the dev dependencies in the package or JSON. So it is installing. So it's done. Now what we have to do, we have to open our project in VS Code. So now we opened the project. So here we can see that in the package organization there is a section called dev dependency. Under that, as we install jest as a dev dependency, so it's there. And that Puppeteer we install under dependencies, so it's inside that dependency. So now while running the code, as we using jest as a test runner, so we have to write jest under scripts. So now we have to save. Now what we have to do, we have to create a folder name as test for writing our cases. So now what we have to do, we have to create a file under test, I'm giving the name as tc001.test.js. So I have to go inside that file, and we need Puppeteer library. So for that we have to write const Puppeteer equals to require Puppeteer. Now next what we have to do, we have to create a describe block. And this describe block is used to identify in the terminal the the test is running is belongs to which describe file. So we have to give a description for that particular describe block. So for let's assume like I am giving now as first test suit, and we have to pass a arrow function. So arrow function is a ES6 feature in JavaScript. So we'll not discuss here detail about that. We'll make a video later to discuss about the JavaScript features. So now I'm just continuing with the test case writing. So after describe, we have to write a eat block. So in the eat block also, same we have to do. We have to write a description of that eat block. So let's assume I highlight a login page, and we have to write async function. So this async await function also a JavaScript ES6 feature. We'll not discuss details about it here in this video. We'll discuss later in other videos which I will make for JavaScript. So now what we have to do, so every in the under describe block there can be multiple eat block. So in the each eat block we can write different test cases. So in my login page block, we have to, now what we have to do, we have to launch the browser. For that what we have to do, we have to write const browser equals to await puppeteer dot launch. So it will launch the browser. So now when we'll installing the Puppeteer, we can see there is Chromium is installing. So if we want to see the browser, the Chromium, we have to write headless colon false. If we not write this, the browser will not open. Our all the test cases run in background and we can see only the test results. But if you did the headless false, we can see how our test case is running in the browser. So now what we have to do? Now after launching the browser, we have to open a tab or a page. For that we have to write const page equals to await browser dot new page. So it will open a new tab or new page. Now what we have to do? We have to pass a URL, the website which we want to test. For today, for example, I am using Orange HRM. So this website, for that I am copying this URL and I am passing through this. Now what we have to do? We have to our redirect to that URL. So for that we have what we have to write. We have to write await page dot go to the URL. So it will redirect to that URL. So now we have to save and we will set a timeout. Timeout. Now what we have to do, we'll check what output we are getting after writing this script. So I am running that, and for running we have to write npm test. So the browser is open and the test case is passed. But here I am getting a warning. So this warning is getting because I am not closing the browser. If I add await browser dot close, save, and again if I run the test case npm test, what we can see, it will open the browser and it will close and the warning is also gone. So everything is fine till now. So now what we have to do, we have to customize the CSS of this text box. So for that, Control F, as it is a input tag, so I have to write input, and inside this we have to write the ID of this field. So the ID is this. Copy this, and then we have to write the line that await page dot type, and what we have to do, we have to pass this CSS and the value of the username. So what is that? That is the admin. We have to pass this, and for password also we have to write the customized CSS in the same way. So we have to pass the customized CSS for this password text box also, and we have to copy the ID and we have to pass within this. To copy this, and then we have to pass through this, and we have to give the value as well. So the value of the password is admin 123. So we have to copy that and then pass. Now what we have to do, we have to click on the login button. For that we have to write await.page.click and the customize CSS. So what is the customized CSS for the login page? So here the ID is there. So we'll copy the ID, and it is also our input tag. So we just change the ID. We have to copy this ID and pass within this code. So now we'll check what output we'll getting. PM test. So it will open the browser and then open, and it's passed. So now what we have to do, now we have to take a screenshot. So for that we have to write await page dot screenshot path. We have to give a name of the screenshot, like I'm giving screenshot dot png and the semicolon. Save, and we have to run. And it's take the screenshot, it will save here. And yeah, this is all about today's video. If you like the video, if you think the video is helpful for you to start a test with Puppeteer, please like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.